Here we go.
You put water in the beer mug.
I love the water in the beer mug.
So do we have any guests other than Pledge? Pledge is going to be here for the pop culture. He wants to give me crap about Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer's good, bro. It's so good.
Dude, Oppenheimer was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. It was the Ambien of movies.
Well, the gold standard to you is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Dude, that's a good movie. It's a different genre.
The gold standard.
Like last night, I fell asleep watching Oppenheimer. Tried so many times, right? But I watched Crazy Rich Asians again last night. Yeah. That wedding seems legit.
Still crazy, still rich. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Man, you like a lot of chick flicks, though, bro.
No, I like the occasional chick flick.
I don't know. We're on a good roll right now with chick flicks. The rom-com.
I'm not a Meg Ryan kind of guy.
You like the
original? Although I did watch Pretty Woman for the first time about a year ago. It was all right.
Oh, Lord.
Oppenheimer was kind of like, remember that Family Guy episode where Peter says that he doesn't like The Godfather? And they ask him why. It's a perfect movie. And he goes, it insists upon itself. I don't know what the hell that means.
That's what you're going to say.
That's Oppenheimer. It insists upon itself. Woo! Church music.
Love it. No more church music.
No more. My name's Mike Jimenez, and welcome to the 100th episode of the Alamo City Sportscast, coming at you from west side of San Antonio, west side, and also West Bexar County represented. I got Brandon Big Papi Medina, old school friend, with me today. Joe Garcia producing today's show, along with Chicana Fuerte. Stephanie Mejia also producing today's show. It's going to be a fun time because, again, we're celebrating 100 episodes, 736 subscribers strong, making the march to 1,000, hopefully by sometime this summer. Lots to get into. We'll have a special guest around 11 o'clock to give me crap, another blast from the past, and a good friend of mine, James Pledger from San Antonio Sports Star, will join us at 11 o'clock to talk about pop culture, because we do sports, we do pop culture, we do nostalgic things around here. Lots to get into. The Spurs coming back home. We'll talk about that. They picked up a win over the weekend, a surprising win.
Yep.
At that. One of the teams that they're playing this week, the Houston Rockets, will be without that guy that scored 45 points, Alperen Sengun. That guy might be out for a while, dude.
A good while, brother.
Wheelchaired off the court the other day, so we'll get into that.
Wishing him the best, man.
Yes,
man.
we are. We're not Rocket fan. We are Spurs fan here. The NFL tampering period is now in full effect. Everyone's doing stuff except for the Cowboys, yet they're all in.
Same shit, different year, baby.
They're all in. We're going to get in on the Oscars. Okay, it was all Oppenheimer all the time. And also a very good concert coming to town. I mean, we're talking old school concert, old school hip hop.
You said West Side earlier. We're going straight to the West Coast.
Exactly, baby. So we have a lot to get into.
We got the intro too. I haven't done the intro yet. So let's
do it. Let's do it.
You ready?
Run it. Look at that.
Oh my goodness. It's got that Studio 54 vibe going on right there. I like it. Got that Joe's Volcano vibe.
Joe's Volcano. Take me to the volcano.
Take me to the volcano.
Can you please share with the stream your friendly spot joke? Let's see if the delivery.
Oh yeah, no. Okay, so Steph was talking about what are we doing this weekend, because not only are we celebrating 100 episodes of San Antonio of Alamo City Sportscast, it's also the fact that it's my birthday week.
Yeah.
So I turned 47 on Wednesday, which is funny because all last year I was telling people that I was 47 years old.
Yeah. And now,
but I was 46. I feel like I'm a year younger now, because I didn't realize up until about a month ago
you've caught up
that that I was saying the wrong age this entire time. Even my daughter was making fun of me about that. So Steph was saying that Rick Fernandez is going to be in town this weekend, that we can maybe go hang out. And I said, hey, it's my birthday, so it's another reason why to go out. And she goes, well, it's going to be in Southtown. Like I don't go to Southtown.
You don't.
Dude, I am
do so much footwork there, and when do I ever see you?
Oh my God.
Immediately called out. I like that.
I go to 1919.
1919 friendly
He
spot.
said, I live at 1919.
And Joe Cool's or what Joe Blues or whatever that one is upstairs. That one's pretty nice. And then you've got the pizzeria that's right there. That's pretty nice. And I've gone. What's that?
Name the pizzeria.
Oh, I don't know. It's the pizza.
But he lives at 1919.
He lives at 1919.
The 1919 and the pizzeria are not the same thing.
Correct.
But like, people
You know,
do
like,
good footwork.
Blue Star is right there. So go
Mhm.
hang out at Blue Star. I've done the Burger Teca in that area, which is really nice. I've taken the what's it
You
called?
just gained bonus points a little bit right there.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean,
Any Johnny Hernandez thing, right? It just gets you points. But then we were talking about the friendly spot. I said I go to the friendly spot, right? And then some other places with Jeff Garcia from Lockdown Spurs. And when it came to the friendly spot, I just basically said that the place was called the Spot until I got there, and then it became the friendly spot.
Well
No.
Well delivered. Well delivered that time.
Well delivered. Well
Very good
delivered.
right there. I like that one.
So again, if you want to be part of the show, you can take part in our YouTube chat stream. The best comments, and oftentimes the best comments will steer the show as well. But do we want to talk about how this all started, Joe? This all started back in July of last year.
Yeah.
I got let go from San Antonio Sports Star
Abruptly.
it was one of those things where it kind of had like the highest ratings there and won awards and stuff like that, but was let go. I was bitter. I was mad. I was angry at the world for a little while. And I was actually pretty okay with being let go, but then people were reaching out to me, getting me all amped up. That was the problem. And Joe reached out to me and was like, hey, you want to do a podcast? I was like, okay, well, let's do a podcast. So it kind of came over here, and I was approached by 3 radio stations. I was approached by probably about 4 or 5 outfits that do podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Joe was the one that kind of spoke to my heart, and it was also very close to home because we were just down the street. And I was like, I can make this happen. And then boom, gut punch, getting divorced. So we kind of took a break from all this. And then in January, we decided we're going to get back together and we're going to figure this out and do a daily thing. And the time has moved back and forth, but we're catching our stride, Joe.
Yeah.
And this is not a celebration of me. This is a celebration of us. So Joe, 100, baby. What are your thoughts on 100? What are your thoughts about the progress of the show? And now you are the one in charge of the network. I mean, you're the one who Generation Duo and the Fantasy Gods and Two Shots and Sweep the League and all that stuff. Dude, I mean, celebrate you, dude. I mean, congratulations to you on 100 as well, because we couldn't be here without you.
Yeah, thank you. And bringing in people like, Fernandez, bringing in Steph, and bringing in some others. And I was telling you guys, kind of know, but we got a big meeting on Thursday.
Chris Leha right here on our YouTube stream saying, if you all get to 750 subscribers by the end of the show, he'll give away a $100 gift card to a lucky listener.
What a guy.
Love it.
What a guy, Chris. Mike 9 lives and then is.
Very nice. And then Sis saying much love, Pops, because apparently he's my son on Twitter.
Oh my God.
Now you are a younger guy.
Oh yeah.
And you and I have done shows many times
many
before.
times.
We were the original Fantasy Guys.
That's right.
And I remember bringing up the idea to you a long time ago for the Fantasy Gods at San Antonio Sports Star. We did that show together.
Yep.
We ran with it like real fast. It got greenlit that morning.
Yeah.
So the thing about it is this: you are a younger guy. I use the phrase Twitter. I don't care if it's the year 2035. I will still call it Twitter.
Yeah.
Are you calling it X?
I still call it Twitter as well, just because I think most people know it by that. If the logo can change, you can't take away the meaning of Twitter. You know what I'm saying? The Twitter sphere, right? I think X is. I mean, I think it sounds more. I guess
it's lame.
It is lame, but I guess it sounds like almost like a private exclusive club, but it's like everybody's on there. You don't gotta be.
Check out this comment we got by Jason Garcia. He's been watching this since the beginning as well. Look at this, Mike. Shout out to you.
100 is Marbach nice.
I do think your sentiment about Joe. Joe's been ride or die for this network since day one, even before, right?
Mm-hmm.
With you. We've had conversations, us three, when you were going through things of how Joe was so supportive and he was always there.
Yeah.
With the Fantasy Gods, when it was just this show and the Fantasy Gods, you were supportive about branching out, moving forward. You are the most forward-thinking man in San Antonio when it comes to sports media, and I think you deserve all the flowers and more, brother. You're the best.
I mean, I can't say anything about it. You know, we wouldn't be here literally doing podcasting if it wasn't for that. And let's talk about like all the people who have been very, very supportive. I mean, first of all, we got support from my fellow former coworkers, San Antonio Sports Star. I mean, I hear from Pledger all the time. I hear from Rudy J, from Jason Minix, Joe Reinagel, Tim Spence sends some love. So it's very cool when it comes to that. It was around there's also friends, you know, some of the listeners of the show, you know, Sean Quintero, Alex Noriega have been really good friends of mine right now as I kind of transition back into into singlehood. Valerie Ramos, who's a big part of Spurs Twitter as well. She was the one who basically said, Michael, you like talking sports. It's part of your DNA. Why aren't you back doing the podcast? I know you're going through a tough time right now, but get your head out of your ass and get back into doing it. And I was like, okay. That's when I reached back out to Joe and I said, okay, head out of butt. I'm going to figure this out.
Head out of butt.
We're gonna figure this out. But beyond all that, I mean, just our sponsors, MCS General Contracting, Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs, Tuesdays with T, Carolina Teague. I mean, Katie Goodman has been a big part of the show. Anthony Pittman, Cynthia Sanchez for J Par Real Estate, Mudslingers has been a big part of it. Mad Pecker Brewery,
and Serenity Manor.
I mean, this show has existed because of all that. And for all the super chats that we get and all the tips that we get, it's fascinating. It's fascinating, dude. We get love from across the pond, man. Garrett from the Netherlands is forever on our stream. That's very, very cool. And when we check out our YouTube, numbers, we have people who listen from the Philippines. We have people who listen from South Korea. It's very cool because people want to hear certain sports takes, and I'm sure Wemby has a lot to do with it, but it's fantastic. But thank you to the Drew Show, who's also been ride or die with us for a long time. Spernandez out there in San Diego,
and my boy Chris Leha from MCS General Contracting. He's been here since the beginning,
and a supporter of everything that the podcast network does. He's awesome.
So Spernandez reaches out to us right now on our YouTube stream. 1-2-3-4 United States Marine Corps says shout out to Joe for all the hard work, because that's basically it, man.
That is.
Joe is the heart and soul of this thing, dude. I'll be honest with you. I show up at 10:15 and I leave at 11:30. I mean, he's constantly reaching out to us saying, I got this technology going for the website. I got this music. I got this. And really it just makes us shine.
Yeah.
I mean, he really is the spotlight that makes everything shine. But it's so cool to get to 100. Gonna be honest with you, I didn't even know we were getting to 100 until Friday. Friday he goes, okay, we're gonna celebrate 100 on Monday. I was like, we're already there.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
And if you include the MJ Acquired Taste, it was almost like 50-something episodes.
You're pushing 2. You're pushing 2.
Closer to 2 at that point.
I thought it counted that.
Right? No, it was like just on this show alone.
Yeah.
It's 100. And then if you include the other episodes, it's like 145 or something like that. I'm like, damn, that's quite a bit.
Also, much love. We mentioned Rudy J. Mike Taylor from In the Building has been a big supporter of us as well. I like the fact that we're not adversarial, that we're trying to lift each other up when it comes to things, because I think we have the same goal in mind, and the goal in mind is to be a big player here and take on the San Antonio Sports Stars and the Ticket 760s.
Sure.
And because, again, they go dark when it comes to local content from 10 to 2. So we're doing a service.
This is that point where people are looking and itching for this type of content, and you guys feel that need.
Yeah, exactly. But let's get into some sports, okay? The Spurs did something over the weekend that they haven't done much of this year, which is they won a game. They beat the Golden State Warriors 126-113. It was the first game. Spurs were 0-7 this season without Wemby in the lineup, but the Spurs go out there and just rattled the Golden State Warriors 126-113. The big storyline of all this is the three-point shooting.
Goodness.
The Spurs are knocking down threes at a clip that they haven't seen before. 17 for 33. 51.5% on the game. One of the players, though, that we got to talk about, man. First of all, Julian Champagny, welcome back to the lineup.
Come on.
I've been giving him crap for weeks.
I know it. Every time I go watch him, I'm like, yo, where's that Champagny we saw in Summer League that was just putting up 40 and 30 and it's taken him a while, but man, welcome back, brother.
He balled out in Austin last year, not for the Austin Spurs, but when the Spurs played at the Moody, he balled out of there. I was like, dude, I want that guy on this team. And for the better part of about 2 months as starter, he's been doing glorified cardio out there,
dude,
getting no stats.
Yep. But played the most minutes yesterday, man. Just went off.
Yeah, 5 for 8 from 3, 17 points. Malachi Branham, 3 for 6 from 3. Last 10 games, we're talking more than 50 attempts. He's shooting nearly 60%. Malachi Branham, oh my God, he's a revelation right now. This guy is. The truth came out of Ohio State, and Spurs fans hate this because I made this point about 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah,
and I know I signed the form and everything.
You signed the form finally.
Yeah,
it's signed. It's was it authorized?
It wasn't notarized.
Ah, come on now.
But Sohan did go off for 20 points, 2 of 4 from 3.
Give him his love. Why you shine on 17 points for Champagne, but you just go over? So give him his love.
Sohan gets some love. I mean, 20 points in 24 minutes. That's very, very good. But I made the point to somebody a while back that wouldn't it be weird if 2 years from now we finally find out that Sohan's a decent player, a good player.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be weird if Malachi Branham is the one out of that trio of first rounders we got in that draft class, Wesley, Sohan, and Malachi Branham, that maybe Branham might actually have the higher ceiling of all 3?
I mean, it depends on what you're asking too, right? Like, is it offensively? Probably. Is it overall player? I think Jeremy Sohan's probably your guy. Blake Wesley is the most hot and cold guy that you could ask for. When he's on, he's on, and when he's off, he is absolutely off. But Malachi Branham's been on fire, on a tear. I don't know if it's just shots are getting open, if he's making himself shots. He also is one of the few players I think on this roster who can go out and grab a bucket himself. Doesn't need to pop and shoot. He can go create chances. For himself. And I think that's huge to utilize for the Spurs.
Last 10 games for the Spurs in 24 minutes of play, Malachi Branham averaging 15.5 points, shooting 56.5% from 3, 95% from the charity stripe, also bringing down 2 rebounds and 2 assists. I mean, the guy is a good, solid player. I don't know how to describe him as to like a former Spur. If you're to say Malachi Branham is this, I mean, he's not Patty Mills.
No,
he's not. I'm trying to figure out who he is, but at 6'4", 180, this is a guy that's actually doing something, like you said, creating shots.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of Spurs that do that. We have a lot of setup guys. You know, C.D. Osman likes to be set up. If you try to give Zach Collins 2 dribbles, it's gonna be off his ankles.
God. Don't upset our girl Steph now, dog. Steph's a ride or die for Zach.
No, Zach Collins.
But Dominic Barlow looked incredible this last game.
Oh yeah,
what are you gonna say, Steph?
So
on behalf of the Zach Collins,
on the behalf of the Zach Collins
supporters
and fan club, yes, he isn't the best basketball player, but I have you guys to talk about that. And we gotta remember,
fair.
I'm a fucking fan. I'm a fan that goes, and I do know the sport. I'm not gonna go and be like, oh man, let me write down and let me try and see who's gonna hear my bad take or whatever you want. Keep me relevant in your mouth. That's all I care about. And I'm just gonna watch the show, whenever I say show, the basketball game, and enjoy some really amazing basketball.
Let's be honest
here. But we're not getting amazing basketball from Zach Collins.
You didn't let me finish.
Okay. Yeah, let him finish now.
I'm gonna watch some amazing basketball from my team because they are giving it their all, along with, hey, let me just keep on looking at it.
He's got the look.
God.
He's got the look. Is he the GQ of the Spurs roster?
I mean, no, because I feel like they are all handsome. They
real
really
fan.
are,
Real
but,
fan
I mean,
right
Trey
there.
Jones is a good looking guy.
You're gonna say especially
Trey Jones
Zach.
is good
You
looking,
look at her.
Trey Jones is a good looking guy.
Zach leads the pack, is what we're saying here.
But you know, if you look at Zach Collins is going to be getting that raise. He's going to be getting that raise. I mean, is he worth the 120% increase in salary from $7.7 million this year to 16.7 and then 18.1 the year after that?
No.
Well, see, I only tease Zach because there's like a tiny bit of personal level on there.
He's smitten by you.
He's afraid of Steph, man.
I mean,
He's afraid. She tells him he needs a Latina in his life, and he just smiles. But he's like, he's just afraid for his life,
He's
bro.
nervous. He's nervous. He knows
Okay,
what that
so
comes with.
Yeah.
My best friend, her husband, is his barber.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he knows.
She's
And
all, give me some of Zach's hair.
He's well aware.
Give me a
that
lock
I'm
of his
here.
hair.
They've given me a little bit of his hair.
Oh,
and
no.
I
Try to make a doll.
There's no brujeria going on, right?
She's going to the curandera.
We got a tip coming in from Mario Cavazos saying supporting the other side of 151 at Petrenko.
Shout out.
What is up, my man? Thank you so much for the tip. Again, this doesn't go into my pocket. We got to help Joe out because, man, this equipment, this software ain't cheap, and I didn't pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
So this support goes to help Joe with all of the lights and the monitors and all that. It's very, very cool. But good then the Spurs getting that win. But guess who is not part of the injury report? Victor Wembanyama. Wemby is back. Do you expect him to play a full 30-minute load, or do you think they're going to load manage him on the way back in?
Load manage him a little bit. I think you got to load manage him just a little bit. Maybe against Houston, right? You don't got.
Well, they got back-to-back games.
They got back-to-back. Golden State, Houston on tomorrow. Maybe against Houston, you see him have a little bit more of a normal game. I think tomorrow or today and tonight, you see him kind of have a little bit of a low management game, which I think is to be expected, right? You don't want to get.
Hey
too
guys,
injured.
we got our comment of the day already, man, by Mario Cavazos.
You got Trey Jones.
Spurs players are Marbach nice looking. He put the little kissy emoji on there.
and then you got
dude, nobody's walking around with an Edgar, so we can't even say that.
Mike wants to kiss Trey Jones. You heard it here first. Oh yeah.
Pick your fire.
They say you're snitching on your
Your
dad.
boy.
That's funny. They said he's snitching
Why
on
not
his dad.
both? Please.
¿Por
He's
qué no
like-
los dos?
Fernandez is like, this stream is over, man.
Now the Spurs have the Golden State Warriors up next, back-to-back against the Warriors, trying to get back-to-back wins against them. I mean, that's also a team that was without Steph Curry. So we were without Wemby. They're without Steph. But they're back tonight, 7:00 tip-off here in San Antonio at the Frost Bank Center.
Sure.
But tomorrow, the Spurs have the Houston Rockets. Now, I was at that game against the Rockets in Houston.
Yeah, I remember.
last week.
Took your dad, right?
Took my dad, man, fifth
time.
row. It
Nice.
was good times. It wasn't good times seeing Alperen Sengun go off for 45 points, a career-high 45 points, a career-high
Never
5
five.
steals.
Yeah, it's
Seeing
never
Wemby in foul trouble, but Sengun won't be part of the party
fun.
at the Frost Bank Center tomorrow night. If we could show the video on my screen there,
Goodness
Joe.
gracious.
Alperen Sengun
That's nasty, dude.
wheelchaired off the court after this injury. Less than a minute to go in the game. He's trying to challenge Domantas Sabonis. Lands awkwardly on his right leg, and it goes in the wrong direction. He's writhing in pain. He wasn't able to get up and walk off, but when he got put on the wheelchair, he covered his face the entire time. He didn't give the thumbs up or anything like that. He just covered his face. They said he was writhing in pain. Feel bad for the guy, but Sengun, a big part of that team.
A massive part of that team for sure.
Yeah, and a lot of Rocket fans were going off on Twitter saying that Spurs fans were celebrating this, which is a bunch of nonsense.
That's bullshit. Yeah,
Dude, we were all wishing him the best, speedy recovery and all that.
Yeah,
It's one fan from the Rockets that's out there, which I'm not even gonna name the brother.
Yeah, don't
'Cause he just
even
wants-
give him any.
Exactly, dude. He just wants people to put his name in their mouths, but we're not gonna do that here. He turns things and makes everything about himself.
And the thing is, dog, I don't know this fool, right? I've never
Give a
grabbed
damn about him.
a Marbach bean and cheese taco with Sengun.
Yeah.
I have no
We
disrespect
just
or
got
no
nothing
hate
but
towards him.
love, dude.
It's a team sport, right? We all have favorite players. We all respect players. It is what it is. If Wemby got hurt, I think we'd all hope and expect like this, like to this level,
Yeah.
hope and expect that Rockets fans would also be like, hey, you know what? That sucks for the game, right? It sucks for your team. It also sucks for the game. I don't know that we would get that from Rockets
We're
fans.
not wishing any player
No,
ill
at
will,
all.
dude.
Sith reaches out to us. Elias says, yeah, if my leg was facing the opposite direction, I wouldn't throw up a thumbs up either.
Straight up, dog. Straight up rough.
No, that's bad. He's Sengun's gonna have an MRI done, but it's safe to say that his season's over. The question would be, how much of next season might he miss when it comes to it all? But again, the Spurs back in action, back-to-back games.
Yep.
Frost Bank Center tonight against the Golden State Warriors, and then tomorrow night against the Houston Rockets.
Look what your son Elias is putting up here, dude.
Hey, you owe him, dog. That's facts. That's big facts right
Putting
there.
down You don't understand the dynamic between parents and kids if you're putting that down. But hey, now that I think about it, Spurs, I mean, they beat the Warriors, right? Without Wemby. They could win tonight. Wait a minute. Are the Spurs going to have their first winning streak since December of 2022?
Here we go.
They need three.
They need 3 in a row. Back-to-backs don't count.
I know, but I'm saying you get back-to-back Warrior wins, and then you got a Rockets game that there's going to be no big man in there to distract from Wemby. We might be looking at a 3-gamer. Now, the Nuggets is going to put it into that very quickly in Austin. Austin, don't expect much come Friday. But I will say this: the next 2 games at least look very promising. But the Nuggets and the Nets are going to be something a little bit more serious.
Now, do you know what the word nugget means over here with this
the
show?
origins of nugget?
Origin.
Oh, yeah,
Origins.
I didn't tell the origin of it.
You didn't tell the origin.
Give me the origins.
So do you know what we talk about when we
Classes
say nugget?
in session.
Okay, on this show, whenever we see a hot girl, we go, nugget. She is a nugget. And I'm trying to think about that.
What did I sign myself up for today? What's going on? Jump in here.
Like,
Steph.
excuse me.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just say, as a female, if I walked by some older gentleman saying nugget, I'm gonna be like, the fuck you talking about?
You're gold, baby.
You're like a gold nugget.
You're gold, baby.
Wow.
She's a nugget.
Show your age.
The golden nugget.
The golden nugget.
Whenever it was popping
Baby,
back in
we
the day.
haven't talking the strip.
Man.
We're Fremont.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
No,
about.
actually, the phrase was created. I thought Anthony Pittman, friend of the show, was the creator of nugget because he used to always say it. He still says it. But
Nugget.
actually, he reminded me that the person who actually coined the phrase,
Nugget.
and I haven't confirmed this, but I'm pretty sure he did coin it. This is according to Anthony Pittman. Chuck McIntyre
Really?
from Maximum Sports
What
was
a-
the one who coined it.
What a great last name.
Wow.
McIntyre. What the hell? That's wild.
That's
Listen,
a great
nugget.
Chuck McIntyre.
nugget. How do you say that seriously? How are you able to be
Hey,
like?
says they're referring to women as nuggets. What would an old man, good looking old man, be referred to by?
She's gonna
by
say
women? By a woman.
dust.
Okay, so there are, words out there, but
Oh,
here we go.
An older man, like, okay,
Inside
Like Zaddy.
information.
Zaddy.
exactly. There is Zaddy. There's also
Mike
Daddy.
jumped in. Mike jumped in real quick.
I know that phrase.
The hell,
Oh,
Mike?
Lord.
I know what that phrase means. I have a TikTok. It is what it is.
Oh man,
I
dude.
sound like an old man.
Oh my god. Follow Mike on TikTok. Nugget Lover 23.
Nugget
Follow
Lover.
him on TikTok.
That's hilarious.
No. Okay, so that's where the origin comes from. Is Nugget. I one time when we were growing up, my friends and I were I think we were like at the mall,
Yeah.
River Center Mall, or
Okay.
someplace just looking at girls,
River Center Mall.
and we're talking about girls based on like jersey numbers. I was like, hey, check it. Meet out Troy Aikman over there. She's an 8 out of 10.
Meet out Troy Aikman over there.
And then you're like, Mookie Blaylock. Look at Pearl Jam over there.
Hold on.
You know?
I do have a serious question.
Yeah.
Why does it still go back to referring women to a man?
Oh, okay.
Here we go. The hard hitting question.
Well, no, it's code.
Code.
It's code. So it was so funny because we were doing that.
You're still thinking about a man first.
We were doing that all stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's man to man code. Man to man code.
Yeah.
So it was so funny because this girl finally figured it out one time. She goes, "Are you comparing us to jersey numbers?"
Oh my god! And what was it, a bad jersey number? Were you giving her? Is that like, hey, Allen Iverson, over here, number 3?
I was like, settle down, Elway.
Yeah. Hey, who's a Malachi Brandon? Who's like a 10? Who's the 10?
No, those are Mookies, baby.
Oh,
those are the Mookie Blaylocks.
Man, I
of the
can't
world.
even tell you the
That is-
stupid games we used to play
That is-
way
I've
back in
never
the
done
day
this. This is ridiculous.
with my boys, man. Like back in the early 2000s when thongs were a thing.
Yeah.
And we
Wait,
were
they stopped.
Yeah,
they stopped.
they were-
They-
when
What's
they were
going on,
thing,
Joe?
right?
You
No,
telling me
but like
something new?
back in the day, when everybody was always exposing
thumb.
and showing and
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
We're at a bar.
Tramp stamp.
We're at a bar, right? So my friends would say, "You see 3 of a kind? That's bingo right there. If you spot that first, the other guy's got to buy you a shot." So we'd be at the bar and we'd be chilling.
3
We'd
of
be
a kind.
bingo because they would see 3 girls sitting down together, and you could see the 3 thongs, and they'd be like, "Bingo!"
It was like Connect 4, but it was Connect 4.
Oh my
Exactly,
god.
bro.
Oh my goodness.
3 of a
gracious.
kind. dude, like stupid stuff like
There's
that.
It's a clear generational gap here. Nuggets in jersey numbers.
That whole thing that he was going through reminded me of was it Old School when Frank the Tank is in therapy and he's like, the girl from Olive Garden, what kind of underwear she was wearing. Maybe it's a bikini, maybe it's a thong, maybe it's something weird that I haven't even seen before.
The whale tail. That's what it was, right? So
but Steph has heard all these stories, especially from Rick. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
oh my God, the stories that the one thing that I absolutely love first about us is how we are friends. And so even like now, whenever we're just like bullshitting, we'll be like, okay, we're friends right now. I'm like, all right, let's hear it, because
we're friends right now.
I do enjoy hearing like the ship stories, and like whenever he was like out deployed and stuff. I'm just like, oh my God, it's funny.
That's
and
awesome.
I feel like I might be the only person that can really laugh with him whenever it comes to a relationship, because I do have a ton of brothers. I have no sisters.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Like I get that aspect of like, okay, like it's gonna be okay. And this was way before me, so like, why am I gonna judge anything on that? So it does. I can hang with the guys and I can like roll it off, and then also be like judge at the same time.
Yeah. Also like, hey, Nuggets is a little off. Yeah.
Nuggets.
But for real, a nugget. And I don't mean to like curse on podcasts, but like for real, if I walked in front of Mike and I didn't know him and he would have said that, I legit would have looked you in the eye and been like, what, nuggets? Like, really?
It's not, we don't say that.
Honestly, I feel like that term nugget may be giving like Big Theo energy, only if you're wearing like the diamond nugget ring.
Okay,
first of all, Big Theo energy. That's first of all,
we don't call the women nuggets to them. We say it to each other.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but whenever you're out drinking, sometimes women can overhear you.
Ah.
Oh, well,
we've been there, done that with Mike. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Been there, done that.
Dude,
sure.
I went to my daughter's graduation over at LSU in December.
Yeah.
And do you ever say something underneath your breath and sometimes it comes out too loud?
God.
Or maybe that's just me getting older.
That's just a Mike Jimenez
problem. That's a Michael Jimenez thinking out loud.
I saw the nugget of nuggets walk into the elevator at
the Jokic.
Yes, the Nikola Jokic of nuggets was there. She was, I mean, beyond a 10. And the elevator door opened and I couldn't stop it, what I was saying, because she was dressed to the nines. I just went, holy shit.
Oh God.
And she laughed.
No.
She laughed, got on the elevator. She said, thank you. It was the most uncomfortable elevator trip for me.
Yikes.
But I was just like, holy shit.
I think this might be a real story because you're over here blushing.
There's a real story.
This is not a tall tale. I said that.
Yourself. Yeah,
I said that.
Our boy Jonathan, he said, better to be called a nugget than a torta, which is the same thing in Marbach. A nugget, a torta is a Marbach nugget. That's what we're talking about.
That's funny.
Said he's hungry. Yeah, I probably would have.
That's funny.
Let's talk about ladies basketball. If you could show the video for my screen. Last night, LSU taking on South Carolina, two of the top teams. Got the defending champion LSU Tigers going on against the number 1 ranked South Carolina Gamecocks, and 9 players, if I'm not mistaken, ejected from this game. Towards the end, it was a close battle. South Carolina ended up winning this game. It started when an LSU player shoved another player, and then one of the Gamecocks players, 6'8", just barrels over the LSU player. Now, after the game, both coaches apologize, but Kim Mulkey from LSU is kind of an ornery person, man. She's something else. And she basically said, I'm sorry, but why doesn't she pick on somebody her own size? So I'm going to ask you this, Brandon. Yes, the LSU player started it with the shove.
Mm-hmm.
But does Kim Mulkey, head coach of LSU, have something to say or a legit thing about what she said about her player being bowled over by another player who's a foot taller?
I think, listen, when you if you're scared, go to church, right? Don't start no shit, there won't be no shit. That's straight up. You see the LSU player, you give the shove, you're seeing the activity that leads to this. This doesn't just happen out of nowhere, right? None of this just happens out of nowhere. Now, I think this also is getting blown out of proportion. This isn't Malice at the Palace level. This is just a few shoving, a few words being exchanged. This is also like, this is the basketball that you're used to growing up. This is the normal basketball that you would see with friends and playing. Emotions get high, tempers get high. It's a big game. I get it. I just think you look at it. I mean, a LSU player starts it, and who knows? That couldn't have been just maybe LSU player starting it. That could have been South Carolina, someone saying something to get her to that level, right? So, fans, something. So something's going on here, but obviously it's basketball. Listen, it's gonna happen, brother. You're gonna have fights. You're gonna have arguments, whether it's basketball, football, whatever. This happens. It's part of sports. Let's not blow it out of proportion. Nobody got hurt. Suspend them. Do what you need to. But also, I think it's unfair to just question, hey, that player is bigger than mine. You should have pushed him. Then you shouldn't have been talking.
Now, leading up to all this, Angel Reese pulled the hair of the big girl, Cardoso.
Sure.
Pulled her hair in the middle of a play. It was called for an intentional foul. South Carolina led throughout the entire game.
Yep.
Right. LSU caught up. And LSU they're the Detroit Piston bad boys or bad girls, if you will, of college basketball. You either love them or you hate them.
Yeah.
Last year they took out Iowa. Angel Reese doing the whole thing to Caitlin Clark, like doing the hand of the face and all that stuff. People hate this LSU squad, but this is what makes sports so great. To me, I watch this and I'm like Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator, just loving the bloodshed. Yes, just loving the bloodshed. Love it. By the way, Angel Reese after the game was like saying, "Don't act like you don't want to watch this in the final four, or the national championship game." I will say, I don't know. I love to hear what Steph thinks, but I think right now women's basketball is as big as I think it's ever been, and I think this shouldn't take away from it. I think this should encourage the excitement around it. That there's actual energy and players who really, really have a rivalry together, that we could see this possibly in the future. But you look at this college basketball right now for females is bigger than sometimes the WNBA as it stands right now. Like there's more hype for the draft than there is for other certain games going on with the WNBA, which is great for the future of women's basketball. Well, the bigger stars right now in college basketball, I can name more female stars than I can name male stars. And the only male stars that I can name are because I'm following the draft. I agree. Not because I watched them. I'd rather watch Angel Reese. I'd rather watch South Carolina play LSU than watch, I don't know, Duke versus North Carolina in the men's. Yeah. It's just not it. What the hell? But what's going on over there? What's going on? We're doing a show here. What's going on? I'm looking at my Twitter. I'm looking at my Twitter feed, right? I'm like, okay, let me see the hot sheet, see what's going on. And all of a sudden I see something pop up on my feed. I'm like, what in the world, dude? Are we going to show it? No. No.
No, but my take on this whole game, I have a daughter who is passionate about basketball, and I could totally see my Sophie being one of those girls that gets down and grimy like that. Yeah. She's also she's a combat kid too. Like she knows how to do jiu-jitsu and boxing and stuff. And yeah, I mean, along with, don't pick on someone your own size. Hey, this is the reason why we have this person on our team. So don't like Brandon said, don't start stuff, don't be stuff. Well, I get that, but at the same time, this is the star player for the team that did the shoving. Right. And I equate this to, okay, I'll give you an example. And then let's say he pulled her hair, right? Another player had pulled her hair. So another player pulled her hair. Yeah. Let me just say, there's only one person that can pull my hair. And, if someone and it ain't Angel Reese. Maybe Caitlin Clark. That instant. You're going down. Yeah. And I can totally see her going from oh no, because then we are about our hair. Don't pull it. If you're gonna knock up, they were all dolled up. They were playing basketball. I'm sure she's fine. But no, but Kim Mulkey is just, she is something else, man. Kim Mulkey, look at the outfit that Kim Mulkey got right there. I thought that was Ellen John for a second. She is I cheer for LSU because my daughter goes there, so I have to be on their side. But I see it. I see a little bit of what she says. I hate to agree with Kim Mulkey because, we saw the other day a dust up between Jeremy Sohan and Amen Thompson, right? Which, what a battle that would be. They're both super tough. But dudes. They're about the same size. Yeah, they are.
But if somebody that was 7'1", if somebody Jokic's size went over and then rolled over Sohan, would we be okay with it? No,
not at all. Yeah,
and we'd be saying the exact same thing. We'd be saying, man, pick on somebody your own size. I don't know, but this is exciting.
It's passion. It is passion.
The bench
is exactly what it is.
Bench is cleared. 9 players were ejected. Lots of suspensions. They're going to be starting the SEC tournament this week with suspensions, but they'll be back in time for the big dance. So we can just hope that both of these teams make their way through.
We do got Pledge waiting to stand.
All right, let's go ahead and get some entertainment talk in here. We got James Pledger from San Antonio Sportstar. Are we doing the bump?
You want to do the bump?
Let's do the bump. Let's do the bump. Let's do the bump. We've got my good friend, one of my best buddies, James Pledger from San Antonio Sportstar, here to celebrate with us here as the 100th episode of the Alamo City Sportscast. Pledge, how you doing today, my man?
Congratulations, guys, man. 100.
It's an accomplishment, right? I mean, it's all Joe, dude. It's all Joe.
Oh yeah,
he does the heavy lifting. No, it's kind of like when you and I go play golf. You know, and we're doing a scramble. You're doing the drive. You know, Joe is doing the drive. Joe is doing the approach. I chip and putt. That's all that I do.
Hey, sometimes that's the most important thing.
So we're going to talk to you about the entertainment side of things. There's 2 things going on. One, we have to talk about the Oscars from last night, but also the fact that there's a big concert coming to San Antonio. The Oscars last night, it was all about Oppenheimer. They took on Best Picture, Best Actress, Best Actress with Emma Stone, Best Actor, Best Director, all the big major awards that they were up for. They basically
RDJ, Best Supporting Actor.
Yep, finally.
That's true. So
Oppenheimer won.
What am I missing here? Because here's the thing, Pledge. There was a time about 15 years ago when I drank a spiked drink and I got knocked out. I did. I got roofied about 20 years ago. Oppenheimer made me.
That's what you get for drinking other girls' drinks.
Oppenheimer made me fall asleep faster than a roofie did.
Okay.
Not a good clip.
All right. Tell me this, Mike. What time in the history of the Oscars did the most exciting picture actually win? Like Parasite, which was in freaking subtitles.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be for these kind of films. It's a very good history piece. If you're into history and what happened in the past and a retelling of the drama that was the nuclear arms race during World War II, this is going to be a very intriguing film to you, a historical biopic, if you will. Like, if you're not into that, it's not going to be for you because it's going to be a slower moving film. It's going to have a lot of depth and heavy dialogue. That's what these pictures do. That's why they win. It's not going to go to Top Gun 2.
Well, why not?
Because it never has.
Only so many.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's the history of the Oscars, man.
I love history movies, dude, and I'm a history buff myself. But this was a slow movie. My daughter, by the way, I want to thank everyone who reached out to me either by text, by DM, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, who were all agreeing with me on this, but they didn't want to go on the record. They did not want to go on the record. I know receipts didn't have
Mamadas, bro.
But
look, it was slow. It was also insanely dramatic, and the acting in it was extremely well. Robert Downey Jr. was fantastic in his role. Cillian Murphy was fantastic in his role. Like, they really brought home the weight that was going on in that time, and the fact that, well, is the chain reaction ever going to stop with the molecules hanging? We don't know when we press that button what's going to happen. We could destroy the earth.
Now, pressing that button, by the way, was Josh Peck from Drake and Josh on Nickelodeon. That made me laugh so hard, by the way. which I like Josh Peck. He's a comedic actor. I follow him on TikTok. He's fun, but I couldn't take it seriously. The acting sounded like the way I talk right now. It's about 150% speed. Why do they talk like that in these movies? It was a boring. The ending was fine when they were getting to the bomb. Let's see, 130 minutes in.
Where did you watch it? Did you watch it at home? Does that have some effect, James? Because I know I watched it at the Palladium on IMAX. How to be watched? Like that's what they kept telling you. It's supposed to be watched on an IMAX theater, and so I think watching it at home, you're also more comfortable at home, so you're more easy to fall asleep. You're lounging. It might not be like the best place to watch an Oscar flick.
I'm not going to finish a movie at home in my couch. I'm going to fall asleep for the most part because I'm going to be comfortable. That's part of it. Also, when you get the Dolby surround sound that they recorded it in, plus that IMAX 400 that Christopher Nolan does, that's going to bring a different level of effect in theater than it does sitting at home on your couch watching it on your 32-inch, tube TV because you haven't upgraded anything.
Okay, first of all, thank you so much for that. But my daughter, apparently it's in the genes because my daughter told me last night that the worst part about watching Oppenheimer was that she watched it at the theaters and that she couldn't leave because her friends wanted to keep watching it. She was
because her friends enjoyed it.
That's funny.
So being wrong just runs in the family. Cool.
Oh man.
Talking to James Pledger, host of Extra on San Antonio Sports Star. Man, can I interest you in a concert coming to San Antonio? The announcement.
Well, I'm going to Blink 182 in June. So what other one you got?
Well, according to KSAT 12, they made the announcement today that coming to San Antonio is Ice Cube, Bone Thugs and Harmony, as Legends of Hip Hop concert in San Antonio, along with E40, Juvenile, Amanda Perez, N2 Deep will also perform. It's gonna be at the Frost Bank Center August 3rd, in the middle of summer.
Tell you what, James, me and you pull up, brother. You let me know. I haven't seen you up here. We'll pull up. I don't know, Juvenile and some.
Oh man, you gotta say it right, Juvenile.
Hey, go ahead and back that thing up. I just want to know is Juvenile bringing Lil Wayne with them?
Yo, I'll tell you right now. All I know is I saw Ice Cube last year, and it felt as hood as you could absolutely get. It was beautiful. Exactly what you need.
So my question is, what's the smell going to be like at the Frost Bank Center?
There's gonna be a lot of clouds going up at the Frost Bank Center.
No pyrotechnics. That smoke is something else.
Yeah.
Oh man, and no, that's fantastic. Like I would love to see that because Ice Cube's freaking dope. I love Bone Thugs and Harmony, E40. Like you're bringing a bunch of goats of 90s rap and early 2000s rap into the AT&T Center or Frost Bank Center. That'd be so fantastic.
What were you gonna say, Steph?
Whenever me and Rick went to the SZA concert, special thanks to Special Leave gifting us those tickets. My God,
lots of
secondhand.
I mean, I was like, it's inevitable. Let's just breathe it in. And show.
Exactly.
Now, here's the thing. Will the Frost Bank Center, instead of serving cups of beer, serve 40s?
Oh, now we talking.
No. My question is, Big Papi, when we go to this show, are we wearing bandanas with fingerless gloves? And
I can
let me
wear
tell
bandana.
you, I'm gonna have a 5X white Dickie pants on and some Converse, dog. I'm ready to get down.
Mike's gonna be wearing a bandana to the concert.
Oh my gosh,
He's gonna be thuggish.
You're feeling the burns.
Dude, Thuggish Jimenez.
I just thought about it. You and I got drunk a few months ago.
Yeah,
I hadn't seen you since then.
Dude, that was a wild
That was a wild night.
A wild night. Look, our good old friends at Bentley's Beer Garden definitely we're not the happiest.
Like, dude, you just hanging around Brandon's a vibe,
dude. What happens? Then I became James. You've done this before. We hung out with Mike before. What happens is Mike starts feeling nice, and then you become almost like the girls of the time. He's like, "Buy you a shot." I'm like, "Yeah, buy me a shot." Mike,
absolutely. I'm gonna pick up your tab. I'm not gonna fight you.
I'm like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, tell me more about how Oppenheimer was bad.
We have Stephanie Mejia here, co-producing the show. She got me drunk on Prosecco the other day. I can drink tequila all night long and be fine. Happy drunk when it comes to bourbon. Prosecco, dude, just knocks me the F out, dude.
All I know is
Oppenheimer or
ready.
Prosecco?
Dude, they're the same. I fell asleep in the back of her car. I was like a Taylor Swift lyric, man.
Mike just sounds like a basic white girl. He's like, Prosecco just knocks me out.
I'm so
No, Mike was like passed the hell out, man.
It was
Put him
so
to sleep.
bad that I was like, oh shit.
And no photos taken.
No, I was like, we gotta get him some Marlboro because he needs.
Yeah.
that's
I think you took a nap in the driveway, bro.
oh my god, goodness
You were in the
gracious.
a nap in
If I'm
the
drinking a nice red, I'm good. As long as I don't switch to Chardonnay after I start, then I get off whiskey. That's a menace.
That's exactly it, dude.
It is my birthday week, their pledge, which means we need to get a couple of drinks this weekend.
Absolutely.
It's the law. Although I won't know because I one time missed Pledger's birthday party, and I couldn't live it down for 2 years, man.
Yikes.
To be fair, you still have it.
I think I went out of town. I think we had like a family vacation.
Doesn't even remember. Pledge, you hear that? Oh,
Yeah. No, he doesn't. And the thing was, he was like, yeah, I'll be there. And then he's like, me and the wife and kids, we planned this vacation this week.
yesterday, just on this day.
Like the day of my birthday, it's like, we decided to go to Disneyland.
my gosh.
Fernandez reaches out to us on YouTube saying Mike is a Prosecco princess.
Hell yes, that is.
Like a drunk like a baby.
next time we put the tiara on.
Yes, I will bring you one Friday.
Yes.
Be ready.
Hey man, I don't know. Mario Cavazos reaches out to us and says it's time to pull out the Gerbos and the Red Wings.
Oh God.
Oh, absolutely.
Man.
For that Ice Cube.
Well-
The problem with the Ice Cube concert is that when I saw the poster,
Yeah.
it's a bunch of middle-aged guys. What happened?
That's
What
I
happened?
do in those guys. Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of hypnotic and Hennessy at that concert.
Hey man, there ain't gonna be a lot of dancing on stage, dude. They're just gonna be just there singing, man.
You could do it, put your ass to it. All right. And there's gonna be a lot of people breaking hips at that concert. throw something back.
Exactly,
We're
man.
gonna be trying to take Mike off the stage.
Mike's gonna be on the stage for sure.
The most drunk I've been at a concert before was Wu-Tang at the Majestic Theater.
Wow.
Why am I watching Wu-Tang at the Majestic?
Dude,
Why were you even at a Wu-Tang?
I love that.
Because I was invited to it. My friend says, "Hey, I got you a ticket." I'm like, "All right, cool." We pre-gamed,
man.
got drunk. It was
Pre-game in Wu-Tang.
second-hand high at the Majestic.
Hand high. I like
Yeah,
that.
well, I don't mind.
Second-hand high.
I don't mind first hand, but that day was second hand.
Could you imagine just Mike with a little glass of Prosecco? Cash rules everything around me.
Wu-Tang ain't nothing to F with.
I like how it's not at a festival. I saw Wu-Tang at Majestic.
That's the Majestic. Very nice.
I saw
Oh, man.
T.I. and Kerry Hilson over
Pleasure.
at-
Come get your boy.
T.I.
Pledge,
and Kerry
come get
Hilson
your boy,
at-
man.
At what is now the Tobin.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's not some festival, not some arena, not some club.
No.
These theaters
Oh,
Theaters.
God.
Goodness gracious.
where they have ballet.
Yeah, they're ballet.
It's scaring me now. What's gonna happen on my birthday barbecue, bro?
Oh, bro, that's gonna be a mess. That's gonna
That's
be a
gonna
mess.
be a hot mess, dude.
That's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be rough.
Okay, so I'm going to Vegas next week, right? So going to go for March Madness. So Alamo City Sportscast will be going on the road for a couple of shows. You know, I'll be doing some segments out there from whatever casino that I'm at. Staying at the Mirage, I'm more than likely going to be there. But James, if I do okay, break even or better, because you know when you go to Vegas, you already have a defined amount that you're willing to lose, right? And then you have that.
Yeah, you've got a number in your head, but you always know you're going to blow past it if you have.
Right. So my thing is, what happens if I don't blow past it? What happens if I actually break even?
Ooh.
What happens if I win?
Now we're asking the hot
What happens
questions.
if you win big and you don't come back?
We got a little bit of a backfeed here.
Yeah, it's on pledges and it's
Okay.
the phone.
What happened?
Okay, there
I
you
got
go.
nothing.
There you go. Okay, we got you. We good. We good now. So my thing
But
is,
sure, yeah. What happens if you break even? What happens if you win money? What happens if you hit the multi-mega $1 million jackpot? What happens if you get in so deep you get your legs broken?
I've only been punched in the face once in Vegas.
Fair.
It was a fight I won.
No, it wasn't a fight. It was a fight between two other guys,
Tall
and I was
tales.
so drunk that I walked into the fight.
Oh yeah, that's a Mike move.
Because that's a smart move.
The guy caught me. He punched me and caught me. Like, no, I wasn't trying to hit you.
Dang.
So, okay. So if I break even or better, I want to go back in May for the Lovers and Friends tour.
Yes,
Not a tour. It's just one stop.
Okay.
Now you have all of these people, and I'll share the screen over here. So if you want to go through all the different people who are performing, we got this is one day, 13 hours.
Yep.
4 different stages, so you can only see 25%.
This is the second
Man,
version of
that's
this
a lot of
festival. It
people.
happened last year too, and it was really big.
Janet Jackson, Lil Wayne, Nas, Ludacris, Nelly, Akon, Neo, T-Pain, Ja Rule, Ashanti, Usher, Backstreet Boys. All right. Snoop Dogg, Alicia Keys,
I know you're gonna be
Mary
watching some
J,
Backstreet
Gwen
Boys.
Stefani, Nelly Furtado, Sierra, TLC. Okay, if I had to pick like 3 of these, pick your 3 of the top of the main ones that are there, Brandon.
Oh, for me,
Yeah.
for sure, because Usher, because he's
Usher.
performing Confessions.
I saw you singing the karaoke to Usher when you're a boy,
Your
bro.
boy. I went on a conference for work and I actually won it. Got singing "Nice and Slow" by Usher.
Man.
Not Usher, Confessions. Lil Wayne's performing the Carter 3, so that'd be really sick. I think those 2
Yeah.
are for me. And then I think just because of the performance, I think you gotta go Janet Jackson or Mary J. You gotta switch it. One of those 2. Backstreet Boys is great, but I feel like they're kind of just thrown in here. This is definitely this does not their vibe. But Lil Wayne,
No love to Nelly, dude.
I'm in for Backstreet Boys.
You could go see Nelly at Smoke Barbecue. Dog. You don't need to go to. Don't disrespect. I mean, listen, Lil Wayne, Usher, Janet Jackson be my 3.
It's been a long time since
Players
Country
want to go
Grammar.
to the Backstreet Boys with Mike.
I'm gonna.
Hell yeah.
I'm down.
There
You
you
let
go.
me know.
Hey, we got a tip coming in from Midtown, Texas. What's going on, baby? Says come
The
down.
problem is with this concert in Vegas, like, sure, cool. I'd rather save my money and go to When We Were Young Fest.
That's a good one
That's
too.
a good
dude.
one. Too. That's
That's a
a
real
good.
good one.
My 3, by the way, of this would be Snoop.
Okay.
You can't go wrong with any of these. I just want to look at Nelly Furtado. I don't want to listen to her. Nelly Furtado she's a dime.
Nugget.
That is the most disrespectful thing I have ever heard.
I agree.
I mean, she's hot, but I don't want to hear her sing "I'm like a bird, I always fly away."
What?
Okay, so it would be Snoop. It'd be Usher.
She also does Promiscuous.
It's a good song.
Oh,
Boy.
well, I don't see Timbaland on here.
Timbaland's
he
right
is.
there.
He is on
Also-
Timbaland. Would be, dude.
Also, right next to Timbaland, Keisha Cole be great.
Yeah.
Sean Paul be incredible.
You know what
Craig
we're gonna
David?
do
Craig
when
David.
it's my
Craig David.
birthday
That's my boy.
barbecue? We're gonna have a little wheel that will spin,
Dude, down.
and it's just gonna have.
Down.
And when Mike gets up there, I hope he gets promiscuous girl,
Are
dude.
you kidding me?
Dude,
Can you be MVP like Steve Nash?
Bro.
speaking of MVP, Tim Duncan MVP, they got the Yin Yang twins down there.
Oh wow.
Oh my god,
Yikes.
Juvenile,
He's taking a break from this
Black.
tour coming.
702,
They got SWV.
Am
Lupe
I-
Fiasco. I'll be
No
like,
love to MIA.
Listen,
If
I love
you
MIA,
are
man,
what
for
you
sure.
say.
But
I saw SWV with New Kids on the Block and Rick Astley and Salt and Pepper at the then AT&T Center.
Damn,
They were good.
damn, they
Dude,
got
Mike
Jonas.
says he doesn't like Mary J. Blige. He
That's-
says she can't sing.
Mad disrespect.
He said
but
that the other time, man.
98 Degrees is also performing.
Saw that.
There you go.
Jodeci's gonna be there. Jodeci is my go-to.
Dude, Jodeci is going to be in Vegas when I'm there next week. They're playing at the House of Blues.
Oh, you should go check out Jodeci. That'd be
That's what I'm
incredible.
talking about.
Jodeci be
Speaking of like Backstreet Boys and 98 Degrees, I swear to God, if NSYNC ever reunites and goes on tour,
Yeah,
there ain't an amount of money I wouldn't pay to get tickets to that thing.
I love that. You a real one for that one. You a real one for that one.
I heard that the one of the Vegas what's it called hacks is going to Boys to Men when they have their residency there because it's like 80% women.
That's
And it's a Vegas hack.
Mike's
where-
always just looking for hacks in Vegas.
I mean, that was basically the percentage at Texas State my freshman year. So
Oh,
I
God.
knew you were going there, baby. I went to that school too. Woo! That is funny.
I think they told me at freshman orientation back when it was Southwest Texas State, the girl to guy ratio was like 9-1.
You're on. Where do I sign my letter of intent? Where I'm there. Goodness.
So we have Chris Leha asking us the question: did we pick up any subscribers today? Because again, he's giving away $100 gift card. That's if we can get to 750 by the end of the show, and right now we're still stuck at 736. Pledger has not actually retweeted this. He needs to.
Oh, there you go.
He needs to.
Well, I didn't see that tweet. I'll have to go get it.
And you know what? I mean, I'll have San Antonio Sports Star retweet it.
There you go.
You know how?
Because you know the guy.
It's still on my phone.
There we go. There we go.
That's how you know I'm a good guy. I've never done anything bad with the San Antonio Sports Star Twitter, even though I still have the passcode. Not anymore.
Not after today. Not after today.
Not that I was going to do something with it. I haven't done anything in 6 months. So why would I do it now?
You know what Spencer's gonna say? He's gonna hear this and he's gonna say, "Cut his ass."
He's gonna be tweeting. He's gonna be tweeting Nelly Furtado lyrics on the page.
I still get Alpha Media emails.
That's hilarious.
Lord.
I think in spirit they still want me there. That's the thing. How are things on extra innings there? Oh, by the way, before we let you go, we gotta talk to you at least one thing about sports.
I would hope so.
Cowboys are apparently all in this year.
Oh yeah.
I think they're on a different calendar because I don't think they realize that the legal tampering period is allowed right now and that you can talk to free agents.
Yep.
How frustrating do you think it is for Cowboy fans right now to know that everybody's making moves?
To me, it wouldn't be frustrating at all. They're $8 million of cap space. You know, who are they all in on?
All right. So if you had to give a percentage of the possibility, and I've heard this on your show, I also saw it on your TikTok page and also on the Sports Star TikTok page. You've been a big advocate of the Houston Texans going after Saquon Barkley.
Sure.
State your case. Convince us.
I mean, I would, because like Christian McCaffrey, at some point you got a quarterback on a rookie deal. You surround him with the most possible talent. And even Dalton Schultz last week on the Pat McAfee show said, you give CJ a running game, this takes this offense to a whole nother level. And what Saquon does is not 100% Christian McCaffrey, but he does catch the ball better than any other back on the market out of the backfield and gives you that versatility that a Christian McCaffrey would offensively. So I would be in, while you've got both he and Will Anderson on a rookie deal, and with the running back market what it is, which is already a depressed market. I'm not saying you overpay and get stupid, but I do believe his contract's going to be somewhere around $10 million probably, just because that's the way the running back market is devalued right now. I'm in on the top of a devalued market and bringing in a player on a short-term deal that will expire before your rookie quarterback and pass rusher even get paid. That is the perfect time to pay in a position that is not likely to be paid by other people that already have cap issues. That's when you make that move, like the 49ers did with Christian McCaffrey. It worked out well for them. It can work out well for the Texans as well. Then again, if they don't, I'm also okay with that, because they do have other holes. You got a defensive tackle spot that, with Eric Armstead becoming available, do you pay for that defensive tackle who is familiar with D'Amico Ryans now? I am all in on that, because they both know each other. They're both very complimentary of each other, and he does all the little things that D'Amico loves.
Now, there's a bit of a benchmark that was set this morning. According to ESPN, the Chicago Bears have reached to terms that they're going to reach to terms with DeAndre Swift on a 3-year, $24.5 million deal. So you would think that at an average of 8.2, essentially, that Saquon would be north of that. I did see on CBS Sports, when they were doing their predictions for who they thought certain free agents would land, that they said that the Texans would not get Saquon. They thought that the Texans should actually go after, because like you said, other things that they need to get after Tony Pollard.
If you're going after Tony Pollard, I'm fine with re-signing Devin Singletary. He knows the system. He thrived in the system last year. And then either bringing in another back to complement him or drafting one somewhere in the middle rounds of the draft. Like, you've got a guy who, if you listen to the coaching staff, have gone out of their way to praise what Devin Terry is and has done for that organization. So I would be okay with that at that point, in bringing him in on a much cheaper deal and then using that money elsewhere at linebacker or at defensive tackle or at safety, where you've got a plethora of great players available to you, like Justin Simmons.
Now I got to ask Brandon, on a fantasy perspective, Saquon Barkley, if he was in fact to go to the Houston Texans, where would he go as running back? Number one is McCaffrey, right?
Yep.
Where does he go after this? Is he a top 5 at that point?
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
And that offense, no problem. Yeah, I think you're talking about number 3 running back, maybe number 2, depending on where the Josh Jacobs play is. Josh Jacobs has been really fantasy football relevant over the past 2 years. I think Saquon, a healthy Saquon, people forget, can be as good as a healthy McCaffrey in certain games and certain situations. And so I think you look at Saquon Barkley, given the offense that Houston can provide, given the fandom that James Pledger can provide to the energy of that offense, I think Saquon Barkley would absolutely fly off of draft sheets. And I think you're talking about a top 5 pick, if not a top 6 pick, in most NFL leagues, especially standard leagues when it comes to fantasy football.
And just to piggyback on what Medina's saying, like, you look at what Saquon was stuck. I mean, he missed a few games due to the high ankle sprain. And on top of that, the New York Giants were 31st in pass block win rate this past year. That's he almost had 1,000 yards, missing games, playing behind the 31st worst run blocking team in the NFL.
Yep.
Okay. Other news and notes this weekend when it came to the NFL and free agency period about to start. Baker Mayfield, 3-year deal,
big money.
I mean, got some good money there from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we have Mike Evans going for two more years with the Bucs as well.
Yep.
Dude, I'm so happy for Baker, man. Baker's finally going to have some consistency when it comes to coaching. He's going to have some consistency when it comes to the OC.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't had that, and now we're seeing that he can actually be a legit starting quarterback. He's not tier 1.
No, but he's winning games.
Bought him in tier 2.
Yeah, I think so.
You could go playoff games with him. You can win divisions. They won the NFC South last year.
You brought Mike Evans back. It's a huge added bonus for him. Obviously, you found that Rachaad White is a legitimate running back that you can definitely utilize. You have Chris Godwin, who can definitely be a big play guy. My thing is, I think you put you have an okay offensive line, still okay defense. I think, James, you tell me, wouldn't you think a very solid tight end would do Baker Mayfield a lot of justice in that system too?
Oh, absolutely. And it's not a great tight end draft class, but there's some decent ones in here, like Theo Johnson out of Penn State. Like, you can find some guys, Brock Bowers is obviously the class of this class. But, I mean, think about the Tampa Bay portion of this too. Both of those guys are on short-term, relatively team-friendly deals that they can also get out of. So there's not a whole lot of over-the-top investment in either of those guys in terms of if their production falls off because Mike Evans is in his 30s or if Baker Mayfield is a one-year fluke. Like, they're not tied to these guys long-term to where it's going to hurt them financially in the future the way that a Russell Wilson is crippling the Broncos right now.
Now, let me ask you this. I'm taking a look at a mock draft from Yahoo Sports right now. There's the belief that more and more, I've been seeing more and more about this, that they believe that the quarterback that might actually drop in the draft is Jaden Daniels. And I know I'm a bit of a homer, but my God, how is Jaden Daniels going to drop to number 8 potentially? According to Yahoo Sports has number 1, Caleb Williams going to the Bears, number 2, Drake May being the rising quarterback there from UNC going to the Commanders. They have Marvin Harrison going to the Bears at number 3. I guess they're saying that there's going to be some sort of trade there. And then going number 8 to the Raiders, they believe Jaden Daniels will be that guy. Dude, I'm sorry. I say this stat all the time. Jaden Daniels has an accuracy of 73% beyond 20 yards. He's north of 70% beyond 20 yards in the air. And they're saying he's a running quarterback. He's a quarterback who can run. He's not a running quarterback. But my goodness, Jaden Daniels, if I was in the position of the Chicago Bears right now, if I was going to move on from a Justin Fields, I'd go after a Jaden Daniels. I don't see the whole fascination that people have with May or Caleb Williams. What am I missing here, Pledge?
You're missing the fact that you miss every single year when it comes to quarterbacks like this. I mean, I can't help it, but the NFL has types that they like. And Jane Daniels, A, plays outside of the pocket, and is B, although tall, very slender. And you worry about the Robert Griffins and taking a hit. You worry. Look, Lamar Jackson wouldn't get paid for the longest time because people were afraid of his play style and how thin a frame he was. That's just the realistic nature of the way these GMs in the NFL think. They're protecting themselves from the potential worst case scenario, which it's a bad way to go in terms of evaluation and thought process, but it is a lot easier to explain away taking the prototypical guy like Drake May and he didn't work versus drafting a Jaden Daniels and having to explain why everybody said he was too skinny to play and got hurt, and then all of a sudden he gets hurt and you're left there explaining to your owner, yeah, I know everybody was saying this, but he was the best quarterback. I can't help that he got hurt. Well, everybody told you he was going to get hurt. And it's a lot harder for GMs to explain that to an owner than, look, this dude's got all the measurables. He was the number 2 pick according to everybody's mock draft. Drake May was the way to go. We did what we were supposed to do, and it just didn't work. It's a lot easier to explain that away to your boss than the other way around and you taking a flyer on something that a lot of people don't believe in.
Brandon,
Yes.
Brandon. Pledge has short-term memory here because he's saying that I have no bona fides when it comes to scouting quarterbacks.
Sure.
Last year at this time, he was telling me that Bryce Young should be the guy for the Houston Texans. And I kept on saying, dude, it's CJ Stroud, man. Stroud's the guy. Stroud's the guy. And I'm telling you, Jaden Daniels is the guy.
I mean,
I think he is too. You asked me why I think that he won't get picked early.
Okay,
I'm explaining to you the mindset of why he wouldn't.
I want you to put your GM hat on.
I would draft him. I think he's the second best quarterback in this draft.
I think so too. I just want to throw in one thing because we know that quarterbacks in college sometimes don't transition well, right? We've seen this time and time again where great quarterbacks who have it all. You know, the UNC thing feels very Mitchell Trubisky-ish to me with the number 2 pick. But I will say this. I'm going to give you 2 stats. One's obviously better, and that's going to be Jaden Daniels. The following one I think you'll be surprised in. I'm not saying he's going to be this. I'm saying as a fan of the sport, the mock of what our boy Pledger just said sounds very similar. So Jaden Daniels, right? He had 3,812 yards, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's Jaden Daniels. In 2013, the quarterback I'm thinking of had 3,970 yards, 71% on his passing, right? Mm-hmm. 31 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Another great year. That quarterback was Teddy Bridgewater. And I think Jaden Daniels is a very, very, very good version of a Teddy Bridgewater RG3. And I think the comparison is fair because of the fact that he is a good quarterback. Does he run a lot? Sure, but that works a lot better now than it did then. I just don't. I think he is a complete example of where he lands and the system he lands in will be as good as it can be, which is for a lot of quarterbacks. But sometimes talent wins out. I don't think he's going to be one of the cases where talent wins out. It's going to be a system that needs to play around him.
Are you trying to hurt my feelings on my birthday week?
I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm just saying it feels very similar as far as the quarterback archetype. What's your Pledge as far as out of college? More athletic for sure. But I think,
and remember, to Brandon Medina's point, look at the college game versus the NFL game. You don't see a lot of quarterbacks running in the same way that they did in college because of the hashes and the way that you're allowed to kind of spread the field in college, which makes it easier for quarterbacks to run and be able to take advantage of stuff like that. You don't see it as much as in the pros because of the way the hashes are aligned and it kind of making everything tighter and more compact and harder to deal with.
Yeah. You also got grown men beating the hell out of you.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys one last question. Not because I'm a homer when it comes to it, but I did see a mock draft say that another play that might slide might actually be Marvin Harrison Jr. That he could slide from 3 to 6.
Ridiculous.
Basically saying that actually it would be Malik Neighbors being picked as the number 1 wideout? Would that be a shock to you guys?
That would be an
Absolutely.
absolute shock. Yeah, there's no chance. There's no way. I mean, he's incredible, but Marvin Harrison Jr. is a cornerstone wide receiver you could build around.
Yeah, I saw a mock draft. I want to say it was CBS Sportsline that said that it would be Daniels at 2 and Malik Neighbors at 3. Be
I mean,
3. Go
all
Tigers.
that is draft fodder to put something different out to get a different click. That's all it is. Everybody's going to be switching things around between now and then. You're going to see, I guarantee you, within the next 3 weeks, you're going to see a mock draft that has Drake May going number 1 because of his measurables and the fact that people don't believe that Caleb Williams is mentally prepared to be the face of a franchise because of his personality. Like, you're going to see this at some point in the draft process. It is like clockwork.
Yeah, the Caleb Williams is a diva that his dad is trying to have teams break rules.
Sure.
That's gonna pop out a little bit, but I love the draft, man. The draft is so much fun. And Pledge, you were at a draft party. You were at the draft itself
For CJ.
Yeah.
Not for CJ. What's that whole
Yes, for CJ.
Well, what's that whole experience like out there?
Dude, I've been to the one in Dallas and now the one in Kansas City this past season. Kansas City was a whole nother freaking animal. It was awesome. It being at Union Station, the crowd that was there, the fact that the Texans had 2 picks in that draft and took their franchise quarterback. And remember, the smokescreen before they took CJ Stroud because of his poor S2 test score was, well, maybe they'll just go Will Anderson. And you had the possibility that they wouldn't take a quarterback at all early in the draft and will wait. And all of this is draft smoke and fodder. So you take with a grain of salt a lot of what you hear this time of year. But the fact that I was there for the drafting of CJ Stroud and then immediately before I even realize it, turn around, realize they're on the clock again to get Will Anderson as well. Like, the whole thing, being there with my buddy who's a Chiefs fan as they're coming off a title and drafting, like, it was awesome. And I can't wait to go next year when it's in Lambeau, because going to Lambeau Field is also a bucket list thing to me. And just being at the draft in general is so much fun. I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a $10 super chat from the Drew Show.
Oh, Drew Show here.
Drew Show's coming out saying, Pledge, don't listen to these fools. They're taking that victory over a curryless play-in Warriors team like it was against the 2017. They got rickrolled. This Spurs team still stinks. The coach still stinks. Look, man, we're just trying to put a happy face on a bad season.
Yeah,
That's basically
I
it.
get it. Like, we all are. I mean, at the end of it, what are we really cheering about with this team? We're looking at, like, the wins of Brian Wright being finding Dominic Barlow and Julian Champagny over the last 2 years and converting them from G Leaguers to fully guaranteed NBA contracts, and Charles Bassey. Those are Brian Wright's wins over the last few years.
One last topic before we let you go and wrap up the show. Rudy Gobert got $100,000 fine over the weekend. It's the largest fine given out this season to somebody who was not suspended. Rudy Gobert given a technical, if you will, because he did the money sign to the official, insinuating that the official was taking bribes.
Yep.
Okay, first of all, this guy should be suspended. You mess with the integrity of the game, or you try to act, because then why watch the game? Yeah. If you think that it's wrestling, why do it? So he did. So if you can show the symbol that we have here, it's a photo of what he did. He got pissed off because he wasn't getting the call that he wanted, and like the dick that Rudy Gobert is,
the touching the mic, starting the coronavirus.
Yeah, he was what's it called? Zero.
Patient zero. Yeah,
he was patient zero when it comes to it all. He's doing the money signal, and I know the NBA had Tim Donaghy almost 20 years ago. It's been that long. But, I thought that Donaghy was like 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, because you see these specials on Netflix And then you go, oh, he hasn't
It's been a while.
officiated a game since 06 or 07 or whatever it was.
Michael Jordan will still play.
But for Gobert to do this crap, he deserves to be suspended, man. He really does deserve to be suspended. Because you know what? Who's to say that another player is not going to do it, and then it becomes a thing? You set the precedent right there. The precedent's like, oh well, you're not going to be suspended. The precedent is just pay up some money. But really,
that's a lot of money.
There's a lot of money. And I will say this, Pledge, as your degenerate friend along with Michael, whatever the refs are gambling, they're definitely not gambling in my way. That's for sure. Because I'm still taking my beat. So whatever they're gambling, it's not for me.
Well, that's the problem. They saw where you're leaning, and they went the other way.
Oh man,
the opposite of smart money.
That $100 is really gonna put a dent in the NBA.
we have $100 to bet. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. Who are we betting on?
Get out of here! I don't want any part of this.
I got a question for you, for the three of y'all. Who's your defensive player of the year?
Defensive player of the year?
Micah Parsons.
That's a big go. No answer.
Got him. Pledge.
Okay. Okay. If you're looking at it from a team aspect, it's Rudy Gobert. If you're looking at it from a individual aspect, it's Wemby.
What's the award?
It's the defensive player of the year.
Yeah, it's Wemby.
No,
it's not the defensive team of the year, right?
Right. That's right.
It's not the guy that's playing with three other guys that are also in the running for defensive player of the year.
Yeah. I mean, I've gone to several Spurs games this year, and you see that it's a no-fly zone when Wemby's down low. They don't even go towards the basket. It's weird that he gets 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks because he's had to actively go get them, right? Because they're not coming to him. You see what they do, and then when they take him off the court, all of a sudden it's a
yeah. We're going to the rim every play.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to give y'all two stats.
Give me them.
That are on top of he leads the league in blocks by the 30 on the next closest person, or the fact that he's in the top 10 in steals. Other than those stats, these are the two stats that stick out most to me when I'm talking about defensive player of the year when it comes to him. Everybody likes to clown on the fact that Alperen Sengun bodied him, right? Well, if you watch the game, all people did was watch the TikTok of that one play where he backed him under the rim and jammed it. They didn't see the fact that he was 9 of 17 against Victor Wembanyama, while he had 5 of his 7 blocks against Alperen Sengun when he was defending him, while Sengun went 11 of 15 against the rest of the Spurs. This is the stat that leads to, though, and Himbo gave it to Tim Legler a few days ago on Get Up. The San Antonio Spurs in defensive efficiency with Victor Wembanyama on the court are 6th in the NBA. When he is not, they are dead last.
Yep. The completely different team. And right now, according to DraftKings Sportsbook, Wembanyama has the second best odds to win Defensive Player of the Year at plus 900. Rudy Gobert at minus 900. I want to say it's a two-man race, but it really isn't, because after that, you got Jared Allen and Bam Adebayo well beyond 25-1 odds. So it's either going to be Rudy Gobert or Wemby. Gobert, I mean, here's the thing about Gobert. He has the fortune of playing with Cat. He has the fortune of playing with Anthony Edwards.
Yep.
He doesn't have to be everything. Wemby has to be not only guard his guy, but he has to play weak side defense on every other fool on the Spurs.
Be a facilitator of the ball. Be a point guard.
and be their scoring leader. I mean, that's the thing.
Tell you what, plus 900 pledge for Wemby, plus 900. Maybe don't put the mortgage, but put the phone bill, put the water bill, put something. Goodness.
Yeah, like maybe your electricity bill this year. Like, go ahead and throw that on Wemby Defensive Player of the Year, because plus 900 is pretty good.
Goodness.
I like the fact that I learned the term stock, which is steals plus blocks. I had never heard of that before, but apparently Wemby comes around and it becomes a big deal.
You know what his favorite stat is, Pledge? The effective field goal percentage of shooting, something like that.
Oh, I thought his favorite was effective ability to keep him entertained during movies.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It's only rom-coms are 100% effective.
I'll lose a guy in 10 days, man. That's a watchable film, dude. I mean,
sure.
That's a watchable film. I mean, you got the eye candy for both sides. You know what I'm saying?
With the pinky up, you know.
He has a big live, laugh, love thing on the back of him.
Exactly.
Pledge, we get drinks this week, my man. Tell us about your show. What's going on at the Sports Star?
Extra innings every single day from 6 to 7, and of course I produce the Blitz with Jason and Joe from 2 to 6. We've got it all going on right now, especially now with the legal tampering period open. It's going to be a wild couple of weeks here as we, frantically discuss why the Cowboys aren't all in, and while the rest of the league shops.
You know what it reminds me of, by the way? The what's it called? Spaceballs, when they got the comb and the pick. As they're going through the desert, Dallas Cowboys fans are going to be like, we ain't found shit, because Jerry Jones ain't doing anything in the first 2 weeks of free agency.
Nope.
He is like, when you have fantasy football and you have the auction draft, he's the one who shows up an hour and a half late to let everyone else do their picks, and then he tries to play with what's left. But like you said, they only got $8 million.
It's not much to play with,
and they gotta pay Dak 60, because he's not gonna do 59.8. It's gotta be 60.
If they extend Dak, I'm gonna be a Texans fan.
That's what you heard it here first. Shit, Joe's ready to jump ship.
I'm ready.
And I will tell you this: everybody's making a big deal, whether it's Cowboy or Texans fans, now that T. Higgins requested a trade after being
Mario Cavazos, which is on YouTube.
I'm not.
Oh, sorry, bounced out there. It says Pledge, take that for data.
How many big time wide receivers do you need?
All right, we lost Pledge.
Are you there?
Oh, there you are.
There you are. Back. He's back.
I was just saying, I hear the noise about going and getting, whether it's Cowboys, Texans fans, a T. Higgins. I don't like the idea unless you're like in Arizona, who is in desperate need of a number one wide receiver. I'm not of the mindset of giving up high quality draft capital in a very deep receiver draft and paying that person top of market money at the same time. That feels like a waste of resources on a guy who's never really been the number one there. He's never had to face the double coverage because he's had Jamar Chase on the other side.
That is James Pledger of San Antonio Sports Star, fan of the Houston Texans, kind of a fan of the Spurs. He has a he's a dual citizen of Spurs and Rockets. Spurs and Rockets fandom. I
like them both.
He's from the San Antonio area and the Houston area, so he's allowed. Kind of like me, because I cheer for LSU because my daughter went there.
Hey, you're paying for it. Yeah. You better
what? Really?
And James is also a fan of Oppenheimer, the winner of every single Oscar last night. Movie sucked ass. But anyway.
Yeah, apparently Mike's the only one who's right about this.
Yeah.
And Everything Everywhere All at Once was also a shitty ass movie.
Oh. Hey, Pledge, shout out to Godzilla -1. What a flick,
dude. Godzilla winning an Oscar. How about that? And by the way, Godzilla -1 was epic.
That was my movie of the year. Loved it. Good stuff.
Let's not talk about John Cena being almost naked last night doing the award. Well, we'll say that for a different day. That's a little disturbing. I'm looking for other stories to talk about. But as Pledger, again, extra innings, 6 o'clock. The Blitz starts at 2 o'clock with Jason and Joe. Thanks for being with us, my man. Love you,
brother.
Appreciate you, my guys. Congratulations on 100. Keep up the great work.
I don't say I love you to a lot of guys out there, man. A lot of my guy friends, but you are one of them, dude. You're my boy. I love you like crazy. Talk to you soon.
Love you, homie. Love you, Brandon. Love you, Joe.
Later, brother.
Later, brother.
People ask me if I miss San Antonio Sports Star. The answer is really no. I don't.
Pledge.
I miss Pledge.
That's the best, man.
I miss Pledge.
That felt very homey. That's the OG Fantasy Gods crew right there. You and Pledge right there.
What's most funny was that you and I would do the show,
and then
he would take over the show.
Yeah, we would just let him just go with it. Fun stuff.
100 shows, man. Tell us about Generation Duo.
Oh man, Generation Duo has been fun, man. We have fun talking everything comedy. We just talked about a lot of stuff that came up with family and with wives, and it's just a comedy show based upon generations, man. He is 11 years older than I am, so we see the world differently, but we all enjoy the same things. We just had a funny episode. We talked about my wife is from Mexico, right? And so the Flintstones over there, she had no idea who the Flintstones were, and so we just found out. She calls a lot of things that I'm sure many family members of yours do the same. So cornflakes are cornflakes, Chetos instead of Cheetos, little stuff that I pick on her for, right? And so we talked about the pica piedras. are the Flintstones in Mexico.
Really?
And I had no idea. And so I got caught out in a Chili's on one of our first dates. And we brought that up, that I got caught out for not knowing who the Pica Piedras are. And the only reason we found out is because she said Bam Bam y Pebles. And I said, that's Bam Bam and Pebbles. But little stories like that, man, just make it really fun. So we talk about our lives growing up, music we listen to. We did the first episode was over Dad Rock, which we then transitioned and made a playlist here with you guys. And so we do a draft, 5-round draft over topics every single week, whether it's
you're going to be in charge of the playlist for this week, and we're wanting to do hip hop, early 2000s hip hop.
First of all, you mentioned Flintstones.
Yeah.
Old school. Remember calling girls Betties? They were hot.
Where? Who's doing this?
How old are you, bro?
Those old Gen X talk.
Damn.
Right. Okay, I want to do a 5-round draft with you real fast.
Let's do it.
Give me a topic.
Okay, Joe, how about this? You give us a topic that can be draftable. You and Steph. What's a 5-round topic that can be? It could be candies. It could be, movies. It could be, movies that should have won Oscars. It could be anything like that. We'll do a live 5-round draft. Beers,
all right,
alcohol, whatever.
Ooh, beers.
Live 5-round draft. Let's go ahead and let's stick with alcohol. Let's go ahead and do beers. Top 5.
Top 5. All righty.
Okay.
So the way we do it,
yeah,
is we do rock paper scissors shoot to see who goes first, and then it's not a snake draft. It's one. I go second. You get the first pick in the second round. Second, third, and so on. So you ready for this? You go rock paper scissors, sir?
Yeah.
You remember this back in the 50s when you would play?
Yeah, it was called Rochambeau.
On shoot.
You do know that's what it's called, right?
On shoot. You ready? On shoot. Here we go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Here we go. So first pick, I'm going to go with the always classic. Give me a Dos Equis, number 1.
There you go.
Dressed.
All right. That was dressed with salt or
salt and a lime.
Or what about when they put the tahini on it?
Tahini, I'm always open to anything. It doesn't have to be alcohol either. So, but tahini could go on fruit. It could go on whatever.
Anything.
Anything. Yeah.
Season your meat with it.
This might be foo-foo for a first-round pick.
Foo-foo for a first. That's definitely a Mike Jimenez way of taking a first-round pick, though. So I got Dos Equis. What's your first pick?
I'll go with Stella.
Stella Artois.
Oh, is it a snake draft?
No, so I get the next pick. That's what I'm saying. So don't think you went too cute and then you fucked up. I'm gonna go with, for all those who are looking to stay slim, I'm gonna go the Michelob Ultra.
Dude, you're taking both of mine, man.
Come on now,
okay.
we're rolling.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Modelo.
Okay.
It's Modelo time, fool.
That's right. I'm gonna go with, give me a Coors Light, like the Rockies that are blue.
Okay. Thank you for saying that, because I call Coors Light water. Because that's exactly what it is. Okay?
So is Michelob Ultra.
The one that you should have taken in that aspect is Miller Lite with the silver can, not the old school can.
So that's number 3 pick?
The white can with the
official beer.
That's what I got in the fridge right now. Miller Lite and Lone Star Light.
I like that. All right.
Okay,
those are good.
Okay.
I was actually about to go. Listen, give me. When we do the draft, if it has a light to it, right? You can go Budweiser, Bud Light, whatever, right? I'm gonna go Lone Star. I'm not gonna go Lone Star Light. I'm going Lone Star. The beer Lone Star. Now that with tahini and some trauma on that, come on now.
That Lone Star Light's where it's at.
No, but that Lone Star on the river, dog, it's a little different.
That's a great pick. I love Lone Star. The thing about it is that kind of like my Saints when they luck into getting Brock Bowers at 14.
Oh, here we go. You have to shout out the Saints.
How it fell all the way down to the end of the 4th round in this.
Who knows?
Shiner Bock.
Hey, Shiner Bock is good, dude.
Shiner Bock on a summer day, 100 degrees outside. Dude, Shiner hits, man.
You know what? You know what hits even better than Shiner? That Shiner strawberry beer that they got, dude. That shit's good, man.
Now, I'm gonna have a sneaky one here that not everybody knows, but if you do, it's beautiful. Here we go. My 5th pick is gonna be. Ready for this one, Joe? What you know about Land Shark?
Yeah, I know about
Give me a
Shark.
Land Shark. Right. Nice, good beer here.
You and I are related.
Come on. Well, we're both Mexican. That's how that works.
No, Land Shark, and I hate to say it, on vacation.
It's
a Land Shark.
A whole Land Shark?
I can't do Land Shark like I'm just at home
mowing
the yard and I'm gonna have a Land Shark. That was
gonna be my next one. So you have your 5th pick, and then after you can have honorable mentions. So who's your 5th pick? Because that's number 1 for mine.
I bet you one beer I know that Mike has never tried in his life. Estrella.
Estrella is so, or even like Sol. You ever had Sol?
I've had Sol.
Or Victoria. There's a lot of good beers.
What are we gonna have here?
Yeah.
5th pick. I have the honorable mentions in my head.
So do I.
I mean,
you got plenty to choose with. You want to go Bud Light, brother?
No.
You want to go Bud Light.
I don't like Bud Light or Budweiser. That's gross. That is gross beer, and I'm of course
Yeah.
That's gonna go off like wildfire.
Yeah. You want to go Mad Dog? Go Mad Dog. It's all good. You can go Mad Dog.
MD twin.
I almost have to feel compelled at the end of the 5th round to go Guinness.
Ooh,
Oh, dude.
You know what though? That could be
not bad,
for
man.
some. That could be the winner of the draft, right? The
Yeah.
slip of the draft, or it could be just the absolute like despised pick because it's a tough beer.
Yeah, man. Guinness Sam Adams is good.
I'll tell you what though, a lot of Irish car bombs happening this next weekend for St. Patrick's
That's
Day.
true.
Come on, little Guinness. But so my honorable mention for sure, which is probably my favorite beer, just out of my draft. I like to pick a few fan favorites, but Pacifico is definitely up on
Pacifico is good.
Pacifico, I love, and that's a really good Mexican beer. But I just think,
Cerveza Mexicana.
yeah, but Dos Equis is obviously like the mainstay.
Yeah.
Pacifico is like, and I can only drink Pacifico if it's a Coaguama, like the big, like 32 ounce. You gotta have your own a cooler for it, like that. Yeah, that.
Get a hold of it from the
Can I
top.
give 2 honorable mentions?
Yeah, give as many as you want, but it's your show.
And it's going back in time. This
Oh,
is
here we go.
Not saying that I've had this anytime recently,
Schiltz.
but going back in time.
Yeah.
Tecate.
Tecate.
And Natty Light.
Whoa.
Natty
Tecate
Light.
and Natty Light.
That is going old school when you barely had,
Might as well throw in some Schlitz.
Tell you what, if I have Tecate, listen, there better be a 3 patacos somewhere around the corner. Though, I'm gonna smell like carnitas if I'm drinking
Man,
Tecate.
Tecate is rough, bro. I don't care if it's the rojo or it's the light. That stuff is rough.
Corona's one that we forgot too, but Corona smells like a Snoop Dogg concert. It just smells like real rank. I don't know. Corona is
It's
good.
an
Though.
acquired taste, bro. That Corona, dude.
Yeah, you don't like it?
Nah,
Oh,
brother, I
man,
don't
dude.
fucks with it. Dude.
Not at all.
No.
Damn.
You open that bottle and you're just like, whoa. Oh, okay.
Well, there you go. We did a 5-rounder, live 5-round. So I did Dos Equis, Ultra, Coors Light, Lone Star, and Land Shark. You went with what? What did you go? What was your number 1 pick?
Was it Modelo?
Yeah, no, yours was Stella.
Stella, then Modelo.
Followed by Modelo, and then you ended with Guinness.
See, I like Stella because you hold it like this.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh my God, this man. No, if I ever walk and see this man out, right? If Steph ever sees him out on the fake Southtown that he always walks around and he always goes to, since he lives in 1919. If I see him in 1919 Honda Stella like this, walk right.
All right. Well, this has been show number 100. Birthday number 47 coming up on Wednesday.
Man,
so
happy early birthday, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
Another year.
I've enjoyed having Brandon, Big Papi Medina here.
Yes, sir.
Host of Generation Duo, member, big part of the Alamo City Podcast Network.
Definitely.
Chicano Fuerte, Stephanie Mejia, thank you for being with us today. Joe Garcia, congratulations to you on number 100.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I've just been along for the
Congratulations to
ride.
all of us, man.
I've been along for the ride.
It's been beautiful, man.
It's been
to 100
fun.
more.
But we got to take off. I got to go make that money so I can afford some more Stella Artois. Y'all have a good day.
Laters.
Laters.